The Sanford Pentagon on the edge of Sioux Falls, South Dakota, sold out in a matter of minutes for this one. True Timmy fans made the trip. Excellent disguises. Inside, you'd find the kind of energy you would expect for a rematch of the 2021 National Championship and two teams that have set the standard nationally. The Gonzaga and Baylor. About 3,500 here joining us when you consider the standing room only. Keontae George, number 3 overall recruit in this class, the true freshman, hands it off to Adam Flagler, and away we go, the Bulldogs and the Bears.
Gonzaga is going to start out man-to-man. Remember, this is not going to be a defensive battle. Both these teams high octane.
Jalen Bridges has now missed his last 10 three-pointers, former West Virginia player. Rasir Bolton inside to Timmy and couldn't come up with that one. To Purdue and also to Texas. Baylor, big win in Las Vegas over UCLA. That was important because it came right after a loss to Virginia. Keontae George, non-traditional first two for the 3rd overall recruit in this class. Highest recruit in the history of Baylor basketball. Strother made 5 of those Sunday nights and off to a good start there. State to Iowa State to Gonzaga, been a scorer everywhere he's gone. Spokane native. Watson goes in and draws the foul from Bridges.
Remember this date, Paul, June 23rd, 2023. If he can become the focal point and the best player on this team.
Timmy up top, he'll go set up down to the paint. Julian Strother has it taken away. LJ Cryer has George up ahead. Back to Loner, in for 2. Short, George with a rebound. Has Cryer to the side. Good bounce pass to LJ Cryer. His first 2 of the night. Talk to Thamba about guarding Timmy. All the way in with a floater from Flagler, and the guards
of their practice time on the defensive end, preaching fundamentals and tendencies.
I talked to Baylor head coach Scott Drew yesterday at their shoot-around, Timmy. I said, what's the biggest difference in this team in the last couple? Great look inside to Caleb Loner. He already has 4 and an excellent look from Dale Bonner. Rasir Bolton left open. He likes that 3. He's long. And Strother comes up with it. And the rebound back to Langston Love. Missed last season with a torn ACL. Happy to have him back. LJ Cryer working on Bolton. Guards create the shots for themselves so well, in and out. And Flo Thamba up and in. Baylor dominating this game so far. Julian Strother pushing it back up the court, and he draws the foul.
Really like his addition to this team coming from BYU. Averaged about 7 points.
One of their many guards that rotate in. He is in as well. Strother, second free throw, up and in. Baylor ends a 10, or pardon me, Gonzaga ends a 10-0 run right there. Caleb Loner up to set to pick, number 33, already 2 for 2, was 2 for 7 when he played here for BYU against Creighton last year. Great look inside, and with the finish, Langston Love. Paint, the Bears right now with 14 points. Bulldogs 0. Hickman tried to get it inside. Love has Bonner up front. Behind the back to Love. Strong finish. 16-0 in the paint. Baylor on top. Two teams that started the season in the top 5. Gonzaga at 2, Baylor at 5 so far. It has been all Bears. Good look inside to Greg. Little pull up there. See if that can get him going.
I like Greg a lot. He's got a beautiful mid-range game. And against Purdue, against Zach Edey, their 7-3 center, he was a big key keeping that thing close. He knocked down a couple of clutch 3s, so he can go inside, equally strong on the perimeter.
Bonner's spin move up to Bridges. He's missed his last 10 threes, and everything working for Baylor right now. He ends a drought, and now the lead is 12. Timmy to Hickman in the corner. Salas will pull up. And the rebound to Bridges. Gets the 3, then the board to start the next possession. Boy, Tim, sometimes a horrible loss never feels good, like the one Baylor had 3 nights ago. Ball stolen, but sometimes it gets your attention. And Malachi Smith brings it back, had it swatted away.
Marquette lost. They gave up 96. They gave up 24 points in the first half off turnovers. Wow. It was the worst loss for Baylor in 15 years.
It was just 3 nights ago. Greg pulls up from 3, knocks it down. Bulldog offense looking a little bit better now. Yeah, the locker room equalizer, Corey, thank you very much, meaning that both of these head coaches were in favor because all the players would get compensated the same. They like that.
And, Paul, the announcers do not get NIL compensation, in case you were wondering.
Brashear Bolton takes that in, and Gonzaga beginning to work its way back to him. They were down 19-7 at one point. 10-0 run by Baylor, but the Zags working their way back. Salas, Watson, and he'll go to the line, fouled by Adam Flagler.
Listen to this number. So far for Baylor, 7.
And the transition buckets as well. Anton Watson, season high 16 last time out against Marquette. That one long, works out well for the Zags. Salas tried to get that one back in, but L.J. Cryer comes back up with it. Both of these teams happy to work that transition, to be transition-minded the entire game. Malachi Smith, great hands. See if he can finish. Yes, he can.
Facilitator of this offense, but so far 0 for 2 from the field, no points.
The leading scorer averaging 20 points per game, a career best. Great block there. Inside by Watson, he gets the board and he will go right.
And to play in the same front court with he and the NBA Waters. Listen to this. This guy is big and strong. He had
looking to get the ball to Drew Timme. Strother, difficult shot. Timme had a chance at it. And Baylor comes up with it. They push it up to Keontae George. Has Caleb Lohner. Pulls up from 3. That's why he was the number 3
recruit in Baylor basketball history. He's got special talent.
Bonner with it up top. Back to George. Shot clock now down to 8. George almost had it taken away by Smith. Deep 3. Wow. Okay. Should give 4 for that. A strong defense there by Timme up to Strother. He pushes to Bolton. Good crossover, but the ball tipped away. Flo Thamba. 67th consecutive start on the floor to get that steal. See if George can take it all the way in. Good hop step. Oh! And 1.
His junior year in high school, he had an abscess on his hip, was forced to have surgery, was not able to play ball for, and Drew Timme is not getting the ball, is point guard play.
Also turnovers right now. Gonzaga with 9 turnovers. You mentioned that Baylor had 16 in that big loss Tuesday night at Marquette, and they're winning that game so far. And Caleb Lohner, 3rd bucket. That was his most impressive. Told me yesterday had to make up for going 2 for 7 on this court last year with BYU, and he's doing it so far. Great hands there by Cryer. And Baylor all over the floor. Greg with it inside to Timme. And now we'll have a chance to go to the line and get on the board.
In all of college basketball. And I don't think anybody could argue that.
.446 without score.
Average over 80 points per game. Right now, they've got 20 with under 5 to go in the first half.
Big reason the man who averages 20, Drew Timme, working inside against Caleb Lohner. Yet to score a bucket. Kicks it up top to Hickman. Good look down there to Bolton. And that is his game. From Penn State to Iowa State, now to Gonzaga. That is a good outside shooter, and that's his first 3. Dale Bonner to Lohner. 3 buckets up top to Love. Left wide open there, elbow extended, and finds its way to the bottom. The rebound, not afraid to push it up there in transition. Malachi Smith up top. And Anton Watson has been an excellent feeder inside to Timme so far this season. Couldn't get it in there, left wide open. Malachi Smith, and he'll take that every time. So Gonzaga now has the lead cut to 7. What would be a win for them at halftime, considering they've been trailing by 10 or more a lot of this first half?
I'd like to see them protect the ball better, get good shots each time down. If they can go in under 5 points, then that's a win.
Flagler, step back 3. Making over half of his threes this season coming into the game. Great job by Lohner to keep this possession alive. New shot clock that started at 20 with that rebound.
Yeah, mismatch on the ball.
Langston Love against Drew Timme. And he finds his own putback. You see why they missed him so much last year with that torn ACL. Strother hit one of those early. Missed his last couple. Watson cleans it up and puts it back in.
This is one of the fastest paced, most physical games I've seen all year. referees letting them play. I have no problem with the fact that the refs have been very consistent. Players are in a nice little flow right now, Paul, where they know when they drive, they're going to get hit.
Caleb Lohner, another three, looks short. Malachi Smith, Baylor had a lead of 30-18 a couple minutes ago. Zags trying to work their way back. They have been tough on Timmy. Good look inside to Watson. And he'll go to the line to shoot two.
Up 96 points and show very little fight, no toughness at all. It really is a great opportunity for the coach. He's got the players' attention. They're listening intently, and they've really brought a great effort on the defensive end.
As Scott drew yesterday about that defense, and as Greg checks in and Watson checks out, I said, what's the biggest difference about this team compared to the ones in the past? He said, my last couple teams were so elite defensively paint since that 14-0 start.
It's kind of interesting. Gonzaga has NBA length. I think that they're having a hard time matching up with four really quick Baylor perimeter guys.
Boy, that is a tough pull-up three. My goodness. Keontae George having a first half with 14 points, easily a game high. Malachi Smith answers.
I wouldn't want to go in the paint either, as physical as it is in there.
Gonzaga led one time here in this first half, and that was early at 3-2. Baylor then raced to a 12-point lead, and they've held the Zags at length the majority of this first half. Adam Flagler, good first step, and he gets in to draw the foul. All season, and that wonderful run. I missed right there, Hexton. 18 out of 19 in the NCAA tournament run a couple years ago that ended with the Bears winning the national title. 1 for 2. Baylor up 38-31. Now inside of 1 minute till halftime. Drew Timme looking for that first bucket. Out to Smith. He's made 4 of his last 5 shots. And pushed there by Bridges, and he'll go to the line. And what a different season this is for Malachi Smith. I mentioned that he averaged
to put up big numbers. He wants a ring. He wants to hang banners. He could go to any college team and start. And
Zags right now in scoring. That was his 10th point. Joins Keontae George as the only players in double figures. He now has 11, while George, thanks to those 3 three-pointers, has 14. Julian Strother checks out. Rasir Bolton checks back in. If Gonzaga gets it back, he is certainly a threat to knock down a 3.
Yeah, I'd like to see them try to run some baseline action and get Keontae George the ball in scoring position.
George guarded by Smith. Little out of control. Now to the bucket. Great look to Kamba. Knocked away by Efton Reed in for the first time. Here comes Nolan Hickman. Does not have numbers. And took it to the hole anyway. Out of control. Offensive foul.
Playmakers and a center that's going to be crashing the offensive glass.
Adam Flagler, likely a holder for the last shot. Inside of 10 seconds now. Guarded by Rasir Bolton. Flagler 17 points a game. Very comfortable taking it himself. Has 1 to shoot. Got to let it go. And Baylor misses the last shot. They were hot for much of that first half. And in the first half, it saw the Zags out-rebound Baylor 21-18. In the end, Baylor, on the strength of a 10-0 run, they jumped out to a 12-point lead early.